This is true.
And the most trauma, it's what happens inside, usually that devastates. My mother looks at us and she says, your stepfather has been molesting your sisters. And my world just broke. Unbeknownst to me and my brothers, this is what my sisters all morning long were talking about. So they already know. Of course they know, because they've been experiencing this for almost 7 years. We boys,
Wow.
no clue whatsoever. She said, who has been doing what? I mean, words just started skipping in sentences. They were, as far as I was concerned, I was spiraling down.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a serious earthquake. Then came another earthquake. She says, I have known all along.
Mm.
What? This is not the family meeting I was expecting. This was
Right,
not
because you're
big, we are about to finally no longer be poor.
yeah.
So in about a 10-minute span, a number of things happened. My oldest sister turns around and points at his boys and say, you boys can never talk about this. It didn't happen to you. It only happened to us girls. You can never talk about it. And like that, relationships that could never be broken between brothers and sisters lay strewn across the living room floor. It was figuratively a earthquake just slashing through our house, aftershock after aftershock. And so when you are a brother and you hear this, what do you do? Adults can't handle this news.
Mm-hmm.
You're knocked off balance. You don't know what to do when you hear that someone has molested your little girl or your little boy in school or something like this on the street. If you're a mother or father, how do you deal with this when you're in your house? And certainly for brothers, how do you deal with this? Because what ended up happening in that moment, we were now part of the abuse. In fact, we were part of the abuse the whole time. We just didn't know it, Bruce. We had no clue. None. It was the four boys, and we were just told by the people we need to speak to the most, the people who can help us understand, at least tell us something, said, we want nothing to do with you. And
So, let me ask you a question. So, they said your sisters. Now, if there's four boys and four sisters.
correct.
Okay. The older sister, was she one of the two that was abused? Because you said it was two of the four that was abused, correct?
We found out it was all four of them.
Okay. All four. All right. So
And
at
to
that
give you a
time,
little better context, 6 years prior to my sisters being abused, me and my older brother were abused almost daily by our babysitter for 6 months. So that's
okay.
7 of the 6. The brother who Michael Jackson spoke to while he was in high school, his math teacher tried to abuse him, tried to get him at his house for a one-on-one. So 7 of the 8 of us. So I mentioned me and my brother because of context. I understand the damage side of this
Right.
conversation, and I understand the collateral damage side as a brother. Unfortunately, I understand it.
So at this time that the older sister is saying you can't speak on it, is she saying that as one of the two that you guys know in this moment to have been abused?
Yes.
Okay. And so this is your stepfather.
Yeah.
How long had your mother been with your stepfather?
My biological father was incredibly abusive. We lived in Portland, Oregon, and we spent some time in Washington, the state of Washington. And I saw some things that no son is supposed to see. So in 1966, my mother got together with her sister one day while my father was away from the house and put all of us into my aunt's convertible, and we drove down to California. So from
Mm.
1966, well, so we ended up in Gardena, and shortly after that, she met our stepfather. So from approximately 66 until 77,
Okay. So 11 years. And
the first time.
how long, as you said, the first time? What do you mean the first time?
We got him out, she let him back in.
Okay. So that was going to be one of my questions. So,
Okay.
okay. I got a few questions here.
Okay.
When you found out later, because your older sister is telling you that you can't talk about it. So eventually you guys did talk, and we'll get to that. If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.